take the value extractor from your customer and promote it in your marketing collateral so that you can create fresh perspective and eyeballs and messages for your prospects to absorb. Hey there, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how to extract the most value out of your customers. If you're running a customer success process and you have a couple hundred customers, there's way more you can be doing than just getting paid every month from your customers. You can be looking at ways to collect testimonials, get them to contribute blog posts, speak at your events, join your podcast, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to share with you, there's literally 25 plus of these, but be sure to stay to the end. We're going to tell you how to get access to my value extraction templates. If you want to learn exactly how I seed the value extraction and the ask and the process and how to shoot a testimonial video, I'm going to share with you the exact scripts and templates at the end, how you can get access to that. Let's get into it. So one of my favorite things to do is to teach customer success. I actually was recently invited by Tony Robbins' CEO, Dean Graziosi, to help him kind of rethink through the mastermind.com product set and just the strategy and vision for the impact of millions of people's lives they want to have. And one of the concepts that I shared around building software was customer success, and the idea of not only looking at getting new customers, getting them to pay, but trying to map out their journey and getting them from, let's say red, which is they just signed up for the product, but they haven't used it, to yellow, which they use it a little bit, but it's not become a habit yet, to green, which means they happily pay for it every month, to purple, which is my favorite color, which is a place where they can now refer and become an ambassador of your product, an advocate for your product. And I've done this in every one of my software companies over, I think at this point, 6 different software companies. I have dozens of customer success people that work for me today. And this process is the same one I've used to collect hundreds of testimonials, get tons of contribution to speaking on my stages, to producing podcast interviews, et cetera, to really help amplify not only the value you get from your clients, but also to support their lives. Because this is the fun part. If you do this right, it's a win-win for you and for the customer. So let's get into it. Number one is you got to seed the request. What do I mean by this? And I learned this from my buddy Taki Moore, right? So Taki talks about seeding the request, meaning that in the early stages of a conversation, it could be a sales conversation or even in a trial process, you want to let the customer know that if we do these things, you will be asked for X, right? So oftentimes, if you're closing a deal with a customer and you're making them sign a contract, you want to put the request in the contract. You actually want them to initial. If we deliver these outcomes, you will provide a written testimonial of the experience for us, right? And the reason we want to do that is because oftentimes, and I've gotten in trouble with this in the past, if you just use companies' logos on your website without permission, the legal team will come after you. Not even the client knowing so. The legal team's job is to go find people using their logo. But then if you can show them the contract that gets them to sign where they said they would do it, then you're in the clear. But seeding the request kind of says something like, hey, we would rather be working with customers like you than spending all our time trying to find new customers. So one of the requests you might seed is the referral. So you might say something like, and I'll give you the template in a sec, you might say, instead of looking for new customers all the time, we'd rather work with people like you. So if we deliver these outcomes, which we're confident we will, you agree to refer 2 people that look just like you that you think we can help as well. They give a little signature, they initial it, and you're good to go. And that's seeding the request. Most people don't do it in the beginning of the relationship. Number 2 is brag it up. So what brag it up means is when somebody wins in your product, okay? Somebody might email support and say, hey, I need to reset my password. By the way, I just got this incredible result, using your product. Or maybe you have a customer Facebook group and somebody posts a win in the customer Facebook group. What I love to do, and I teach and coach my clients or my customer success team on, is to amplify it, brag it up. Message them, congratulations, tell me more about that. Get them to relive the moment. And then as they're reliving it, say, hey, can I ask you a favor? Yeah, sure, what's up? Well, remember when we started working together, you agreed to do this? And they're like, oh yeah. It's like, hey, well, I'd love to get a referral from you? Is there 2 people that you know that you think we can serve to help you get the same results? And that's the whole point of the value extraction ladder that I teach and I coach my SaaS clients on is understanding that there is an appropriate moment and experience where asking makes so much sense if you brag it up, if you ask them how they did it, if you make it a moment and then go for the ask. And that's the idea, is to brag it up. Number 3 is sequence the extraction. So I mentioned the goal in customer success is to go from like red, yellow, green, purple customers. And you can think of it this way, is the ask of the customer is aligned with the value they've achieved. So in the early days, maybe you want to go for something as simple as a written testimonial. Then as they move up and they get more wins, maybe you want to invite them to be on your podcast. And then as they move up, maybe you want to invite them to do a video testimonial. Maybe as they move up, you might want to ask them to be part of your ambassador team or be a sales reference. But there's all these different levels of extraction that you can sequence and put on a ladder so that you can teach your team. It's not just one thing. It's 7 things over the next year. And to the degree that you can collect those, customer service manager, CSM, is things I'm going to comp you on. I'm going to pay you to get these things. I'm going to reward this. We're going to create a leaderboard. There's so many ways you can do this, but the idea is you have to give them the sequence so that you know what to ask at what moment. Number 4, automate the ask. You know, my whole thing is do things manually that don't scale until you find a way to automate it. And the beauty of today's software, where it comes to, you know, whatever tool you're using for your CRM, is based on activity in your software, you can actually send a message to kick off an opener. So an open chat to get a response. So manual. So like you can literally say, when a customer does their 15th activity in our software, send an email from their account manager asking them, hey, I just noticed you did your 15th. Congratulations. What have you liked best so far? So you can automate the ask or the opener of the ask. And when they reply, then your account manager, your customer success person can come in and then finish off the sequence, the ask. And that to me is how we build consistent value extraction. If you just do it manually, that's great, but you do it until you get to a point to scale. And then you want to look for those moments and write the code, write the automation to make sure it continues happening day over day. And number 5 is promote the value. So, hey, it's awesome. You now have testimonials, you have video testimonials, you have written testimonials, you have wins you've captured in your CRM. Okay. And I've been in this place where you literally have hundreds of positive results that you've gotten for your customers, and they're sitting in your CRM solution doing nothing, collecting dust. They're not in your marketing. They're not on your landing pages. They're not in your email. They're not on your events page. They're not in your social media account. They're nowhere. They're literally like you collected a bunch of Pokemons, but you put them in a binder and nobody can see them. So what I want to encourage you to do is promote the value. Go find all these testimonials, put them out there for the team and say, hey, where do these go? Where should they go? Should they go screenshots at the end of one of our videos? Should they go on our Instagram page? Should they go on our homepage? Should they go on our landing page? Like there's all these places where prospect buyers, potential buyers, people that are new to you are seeing your marketing collateral, could go in a lead magnet, and your wins, the things you've collected from your customers to say that you're really smart and great at what you do, is not to be found. How crazy is that? Or worse, and I've been guilty of this as well, you have 6 or 7 of them and they're just reused across every marketing asset that you have out there. Literally, the landing page has the same testimonial as your homepage, has the same testimonial as your video, has the same testimonial as your ad. Like, why? You may have hundreds. I know I did. Hundreds of these collected all over the place, not being used. That's what I mean when I say promote the value. Take the value you've extracted from your customer and promote it in your marketing collateral so that you can create fresh perspective and eyeballs and messages for your prospects to absorb. So quick recap, there's 5 specific strategies you need to make sure that you extract the most value from your customers. Number 1 is see the request. Number 2 is brag it up. Number 3 is sequence extraction. Number 4 is automate the ask. And number 5 is promote the value. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want to share with you an incredibly powerful and complete checklist, okay? It's not only the worksheet for how to sequence, and I've got a list of 15 different asks that you can put on a timeline. So the worksheet, the templates for how to seed the ask, how to get agreement, what the language looks like. You can add it to your contract. So click the link below to download all of this. I've even got in there the exact, essentially emotional testimonial blueprint that my team uses when they're interviewing somebody for a video testimonial. It's literally the questions they ask, the 4 phases of the testimonial, and the script that you need to be able to extract the right stuff to put it into an emotionally converting testimonial and get all of that below. Just click the link to download your copy. And if you like this episode, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment. Let me know, out of all those strategies, what's the one that resonated the most with you? What was the most unique? And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. And I'll see you next Monday.